Oh yeah, dude, this is a freaking update. As of January 18th, I freaking celebrated my 2 years of sobriety from freaking drinking alcohol. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Oh, dude, freaking. But yeah, dude, 2 years sober is pretty crazy. It kind of just doesn't feel real. I haven't really known how to talk about it at all, really. I think I mentioned it on a stream or two, or maybe multiple times. I don't really remember. I think I clipped it once from a stream. But yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of a trip to think about, because freaking I remember clear as day. It seems like just yesterday that 2 years of not drinking seemed absolutely impossible, and like that was a fairy tale. Like I was like, maybe I could do 1 year if I like did other drugs or something as a challenge or no, I'm just kidding. But like I could see like you could put that into perspective a little bit and be like, okay, if I distracted myself, if I slept for a year, I wouldn't drink for a year technically or something. But 2 years seemed impossible for sure. And I remember that, but it's weird when I look back at like streams and stuff, because I look at like my streaming arc earlier in the streaming arc, and I'm like, oh, I was only like 4 months sober then. That's weird to think about, because freaking, I don't know, it just seems like so long ago now. But I remember like it was hard to like even be a person on camera for a while. Like I just didn't even freaking know. I didn't remember how to be funny, and I could only think about the things that were stressing me out, and it was just, you know, it was a rough time before it wasn't. Way better now, dude. Freaking life is chill now. I'd probably just, I mean, I don't know. I probably won't ever drink, like, I definitely won't drink how I was drinking before, but I guess I just won't ever be drinking again. I don't know. I do find myself speaking of it kind of wishy-washy like that. Like, it's like I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm sober forever, and then fail that if I change my mind or something. But I think now that I've been sober for freaking 2 years, I think it's given me like the appreciation for like how bad things were back then, and all the perspective and how long it freaking took to get out of that, because it was a long process. There was a lot of time where I was just like exercising, sleeping, you know, watching movies, fucking off. I don't know. I don't even. Yeah, I guess I was streaming for a lot of it, which is crazy. I mean, streaming, I've been taking a break from streaming because it's kind of stressful. So to think that was my go-to when it freaking, I think what it was is it was a little easier to wean myself back into content creation that way, because you just like, you're on stream and you can just talk normal, and you know, maybe it might not make the best clips. Sometimes I hate when I'm talking normal in the video. I'm like, why am I not using my outside voice? Speak up. It's like cringe to watch me talk at a mild-tempered volume. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Sobriety. 2 years. Yeah, it's freaking lit, dude. I don't drink anymore, and now I make YouTube videos. It's awesome. And drink coffee again. It's really just back to how things were before I started drinking a lot, dude. I don't know. I kind of always thought that I was going to stop drinking in my later 20s. I just didn't really know when, and this was just kind of the time. It just kind of manifested itself. It seemed like, well, this is getting a little out of hand. Clearly I need to stop. And then I like sort of couldn't stop, you know, for a while, because yeah, I just got into some freaking bad habits, you know, and it's just, it be like that. It sneaks up on you. I don't know. I don't know how much it came across in videos, but I guess my absence should speak louder than anything, because freaking in like the pandemic, that's when I guess it was at its worst, and I was really just like falling behind and not making videos, and my computer freaking sucked, and I didn't know how to fix it, and I would just take the immediate escape to get away from all of that freaking emotional stress or whatever. And definitely don't recommend. 0 out of 10. Would not start drinking again. I drank one time when Brad was over. I had one freaking Two Tart Tony. It's like a twisted tea, 5% alcohol beverage. It with like a spiked thing. That was like probably like 5-6 months ago. I just had the one and didn't really freaking have any interest in having more or anything. But yeah, it was just fun to throw a curveball, you know, since we were hanging out with the boys, which we don't get to do as much as I would wish we did. But yeah, it was weird to have a freaking alcohol after so long, because that was like, yeah, I don't know. I just had like the littlest taste of it, and then it wore off, and I was like, oh god, yeah, that was weird. I don't know. It's very reminiscent of like a bygone era, because by golly, I'm jumping all over the place in my mind, but maybe it makes more sense on a podcast if you're just listening and not me. Yeah, dude, I don't know. If you guys remember, I didn't even freaking drink on my 21st birthday. Like, I didn't even drink, like, really at all when I was, like, doing YouTube. Like, when I started YouTube, I just was kind of all interested in that, and I didn't really do any debaucherous activities. Even when I would, like, traveled internationally, I remember they were like, you know, the drinking age is, you're legal to drink here, you could do it, cut loose. And it was just not something I was interested in. But, you know, eventually when I was like 21, almost 22 probably, I was freaking like just bored, and like all my friends from Florida were gone, and freaking I was just alone and bored and sad. So freaking had to take a walk on the wild side. And then I moved to Wisconsin, and then it was like fun to sort of start drinking with my friends, and that was cool. And it really didn't get bad until way freaking later, probably like the pandemic time. But it definitely got normal when I started like dating a girl, and then we're like just watching movies and drinking, because that's like a normal chill date activity thing to do. But then if you do that like regularly, it gets kind of normal, and then it's like weird when you don't do it, and then it's really bad. That can just set you up for it to be really bad. But obviously I might have just been exceptionally prone to bad behavior or something on the freaking subject. I definitely feel like I have, like, because I still smoke weed now, just for context, I guess. But freaking, I still feel very much like, for me, I just like had to make it a thing that I couldn't have anymore, because I'm freaking crazy, and I'm just like, if it's a thing I can have, then there's no reason I can't have it right now, right? Because I'm stressed. Okay. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think that just causes me to drink way too much, way more than I should, or anyone should. But yeah, dude, I don't miss it at all. Drinking sucks. Smoking's cool. I still smoke weed a lot. I think that's also kind of what complicates it, because freaking, I guess it makes me feel like I'm a little bit less sober, even though I'm sober from the thing that I was trying to be sober from, and that was causing me actual bad, like my downfall, like bad things to happen. That sounds like such a YouTube title thing to say. I need to touch grass, holy shit. But you know what I mean. It was affecting my life, whereas like, I mean, weed really affects mostly my bank account, if anything. But it's just a chill thing. But I still like catch myself, like I'll be smoking just because it's like an impulse and not because of anything. But I think the difference is alcohol is just lethal, dude. You could knock yourself out with that, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? How people say that? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm very off track. But yeah, dude, I see now, like, I don't know, just how off track I was, I guess, and how long it's taken me to put the train back where sort of headed in the direction where I want it, you know? So I don't think that I could just go back to what I was doing before, you know? I think my, you know, just wanting to create content, and I think just being a YouTuber and a content creator and having this gives me a lot of ambition that is, I don't know, it's hard to just pick the other thing and throw it away, you know, which, I don't know, like, hearts out to anyone who doesn't necessarily have that, who's struggling. That makes me I'm fortunate in that regard. I'm grateful for that. What Loomis doing? Loomis on the podcast? Yeah, I remember like towards the end of my drinking career, I was watching a lot of podcasts about recovery, and that's how I knew it was gonna be over soon. That's how you know it's over. This isn't fun anymore. This is routine. Getting sober is like also the easiest way to never see your friends again. Quickly realize freaking how much social interaction hinges on the sharing of alcohol. The gathering around the sauce. But I mean, I don't care if people drink around me at all. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'll go to a bar, I'll hang out. But I mean, also, no, I won't. But if you're my friend and you want me to, I will. I guess. Trying to think of like what common questions about sobriety would be. I don't go to meetings personally. I never have. I just freaking... There's no real reason, obviously. Maybe if you freaking need that, maybe that could be right for you. I'm not knocking it at all. But dude, the idea of going somewhere... Stay with me. Going somewhere, dude. And then also talking to people and hearing people talk about like the worst times in their life and their addictions and stuff. Bro, that sounds horrible to me. If you don't make me go to that alone will motivate me to never drink again, I swear. Plus, isn't it like a religious thing? Like, the whole thing just has no swag. It's not for me. I shouldn't say it has no swag. It's just not my swag, okay? Does that make more sense? Like I'm saying, it could be for you. It could be for freaking everybody. It could be for me. I don't know. I don't even know. And I don't want to know. And I'll use that to my advantage, okay? I was trying to think of like what my idea of a rock bottom was before I freaking stopped abusing alcohol. Tee-hee, wink, wink, XD, ooh, ooh. Remember, I was trying to get sober one time, and I freaking just couldn't sleep for like 4 days. And when I freaking would try to go to bed, I would just like hear voices, and it was the scariest thing ever. And they were saying like horrible things. I had never experienced any sort of thing like this. No auditory hallucinations like this in my life. I'm pretty sure I was just sleep deprived. But like only when I would try to go to bed would this happen. So it kept me sleep deprived. It was so scary, dude. I was like dang near afraid to sleep in my bedroom. Like I almost had to explain to my roommate, sorry man, I think there's a ghoul or a goblin in my room, freaking, but it's really in my head. And I think I sort of knew that, but I was like willing to try anything at that point because it was so scary, dude. I thought I broke myself forever. That was definitely scary. That was probably like the worst experience I had.